Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the webinar. Delighted to have Greg Alland from Cigna Dental on hand. And here we are on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon in Cincinnati, September 26th. I can't believe we're already through September. And we're going to kick it off. We're going to talk about Cigna Dental. And they've been a new addition for Cornerstone, and they've got some really exciting products in the individual dental arena. And I'm just gonna kill my webcam just to preserve some bandwidth. I know we're having some issues with webcam, so I'm gonna just kill my webcam. Thanks. And let's go over a few things here at Cornerstone. And if you got a question, put it in the question box. I'm gonna monitor these throughout the presentation. Eric will as well. And by all means, if you got an issue with sound or the screen's not working or whatever, also do what you can and put that in the question box as well, just so we're doing the best we can on the tech side, or just say hello. So we'll monitor these throughout the presentation, and we'll also have Q&A at the end. So here we are, the three amigos of the individual market here in Ohio. My colleague Brad Petrella, he's new to the team. He joined us in the spring, and he's the business development manager, and his primary focus is Northern Ohio, Northeast Ohio, and in and around Columbus. And we're so happy to have Brad on board with us. There's his email information. I think his email address is misspelled. Is that right, Eric? Isn't it B?
Yes,
P-E-T?
it should be P-E instead of P-A in there.
Yeah. So we need to get that corrected. And of course, Eric's on board today, and anything and everything you need in terms of the individual market, the ACA, short-term, you name it, ancillary, like we're doing today, give us a call. Shoot us an email. Now we're in the busy season, so we're here to help. And Eric, you want to talk a little bit about Health Sherpa? You got a second?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
So Health Sherpa is kind of what we've been using for the past couple years, kind of to enroll clients, and we offer this to all of our brokers. There's no cost for it. We have a sign up that you could do, or you can just email one of us, and we'll take care of it from there, and we'll get you started and being able to quote plans. But yeah, this cuts down on your times tremendously when you're going through an enrollment. So I highly recommend trying to get on board with Health Sherpa, and I think that will help increase business.
Outstanding. Yeah. They're the biggest platform. More than half of what's sold from agents on the ACA is through Health Sherpa. We love them. So, and I want to give a quick shout to the marketing side of things. The new marketing hub, from downloadable social media images to customizable flyers. Cornerstone's marketing hub has what you need to start managing your marketing in-house. Check out all of our available downloads at the link on the screen, and be sure to let us know what more you'd like to see. So she's updating this stuff all the time. Jess Larkin does a fantastic job with us. And just keep in mind, we need to set up an account for you in order to access the resource center, because we had to lock it down for obvious reasons, but we'll get you an access to it. Just give us a call. And through the magic of technology, I'm going to toss things to Greg. Greg, say hello to all the people out here.
Hey, hello. Thanks, Jeff.
You bet. Here we go. I'm going to make you the presenter. And you've also got a colleague on the line with you.
Yes, I do. Alex is here to help me out in case I get stuck along the way with anything. But so we appreciate everybody's time. And hopefully, Jeff, you can see the first screen there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It looks great. Take it away.
All right. Great. Here we go. Thanks. And again, thanks everybody for your time. We certainly understand we're coming into the super busy time of year, and we have some really exciting stuff to talk to you about. And so let's get right to it. We have here we go. So here's a quick look at the agenda. We're gonna go through this as quick as we can and try to not take as an overextended period of time for you. But we'll go through a Cigna Dental overview, and at the end of the session, we'll have a Q&A session. If Jeff happens to see a question that's pertinent and something that's really critical at the time during the session, he'll jump in with that, and we'll answer it at that point in time. So there's a look at me, Greg Olin. You can see I've been around for a while. I've been in the ancillary business for a long time, and mostly in dental, vision, life, and disability products. I've been over Cigna for just about a year, and really came over because Cigna has made substantial investments in their individual product lines, including individual dental on the IFP side or individual family plans, and have brought on some pretty significant brain power that has experience in the individual dental lines, and we're really excited about this product set going into the future. And so here we go. So within Cigna, we take a whole person health approach. Dental is a significant component of a person's overall health, and there's a number of dental conditions that a dental provider can suspect as they're going through an oral examination and x-ray process for somebody. I mean, obvious things like oral cancer. There's things like potential high blood pressure symptoms that show up and potentially can be seen based on a person's periodontal health, that kind of thing. And so, Cigna's huge in the medical side of things, and we're also getting larger on the dental side of things. Today, currently, we have about 600,000 members in IFP individual dental, and we expect significant growth because of the new product set that we've released and that we'll be talking about today. So let's jump right into it. So we now have 9 different plans that are available within our product set today, and in each of those plans has a product grid like this grid that you're seeing right here, that 3 different plans within each of the 3 different buckets of product designs. And this first one here we call our preventive and low deductible dental plans. And if you've sold Cigna individual dental in the past, these would probably be the plans that in fact you would have sold along the way. And they're more traditional plans, typical $50 deductible per individual. Typically deductibles waived for preventives and diagnostic services, that kind of thing, and more sort of traditional annual maximums of $1,000 or $1,500. Our plans typically do have benefit waiting periods included within them, and as you'll see here in the waiting period row, it's about the 4th one down, the 0612, for example, or 061212. These correspond with the class over here in the left-hand side. So class 1 is the 0 in this situation. Class 2, basic restorative, is a 6-month wait, and class 3 is a 12-month wait for the Cigna Dental 1000 plan. We do have a mechanism where there is waiting period waiver available, and I'll get into the details of that as we go through the presentation. So just keep in mind as you see waiting periods on these various grids that somebody that's coming from a prior plan that has had continuous coverage and a couple of other factors, there is a way to get those waiting periods waived so that somebody can come in with full benefits on day 1 of coverage. One of the things that I do want to point out within this product set is the Cigna Dental 1500 is the plan within our product set that includes an orthodontia benefit, which is a class 4 benefit. And that benefit is a $50 lifetime deductible and a 50% benefit up to $1,000 lifetime max. It's an any age ortho benefit, so it's not only for children, but for adults. Oftentimes, if you see an orthodontia benefit, especially in an individual product, it might be limited to children up to age 19. In this circumstance, again, this orthodontia benefit is available for members of any age, including adults. And then the bottom row in each of the grids that we're going to show here today shows an average national premium for that particular plan. And it's really on display here to kind of show you a rate differential between the product designs and as the plans get richer, how that rate changes. So The values here, $19 for the first plan in blue, $34 for the plan in green, and $39 for the plan in orange. Again, it's an overall national average rate. If you plug in an Ohio zip code or an Indiana zip code or Kentucky, whatever, you probably won't see that exact rate. It'll be higher or lower, but on average, that is the national average rate for these particular plans. The second set of plans are our bundled plans. These were introduced in mid-2022 and have proven very popular with the pre-senior and senior populations. The products include a vision and or a vision and hearing add-on component into one policy. And so that's what makes these products interesting, in that we've added on a couple of different things to make them really attractive, again, for that pre-senior and senior marketplace. One of the things that we want to point out here is this plan in orange, the DVH 3500 plan, includes a specific benefit for implants of 50% and a $2,000 lifetime maximum benefit for implants. So I like to point out that really implants are a two-component type of restoration procedure. The first part of an implant is the metal, basically a screw that's implanted into your jaw. And then the second part of an implant procedure is the prosthetic that goes over the top of that implant, and it typically would be a crown. So this plan provides coverage for that the actual metal screw that is placed in somebody's jawbone. And it is the only plan within the 9 that provides an actual benefit for that metal piece going into the jaw. All of our plans that, provide coverage for major services provide coverage for the crown that goes over the implant. And so it's important to make that distinction so that people understand exactly what happens. So if somebody, for example, has the green plan, the Dental Vision 2000 plan, and they get an implant procedure, while our product wouldn't cover the actual implant procedure into the jawbone, there would be coverage available for the crown that goes over the implant, right? So that's the distinction and why the orange plan it has proven very popular amongst our bundled plan portfolio in the market today. The other thing that I'd point out on this plan set is you can see in the waiting period grid here, in the green and the orange plan, it's 0012 or 00612. So that means that there's no waiting period for class 1 diagnostic preventive, of course. And there's also no waiting period for this plan set for class 2 basic restorative. And class 2 is typically things like fillings, simple extractions, non-routine type x-rays would fall into a class 2. And then in the green plan, a 12-month wait for class 3 major. Over on the orange plan, no wait for preventive class 1, no wait for class 2 basic restorative, a 6-month wait for major restorative, and then a 12-month wait for the implant benefit. Regarding vision and hearing benefits that are added in here, the dental, the vision and the hearing benefits are completely separate from the dental maximum that are shown up here in the third row of 1,000, 1,500, or 2,500. So, for example, in the blue plan, there's a vision benefit provided for a 30% benefit up to a $50 benefit for an examination, and then $100 material benefit. And then as you go to the right across these plans in the green, you'll see how those benefits increase as the value of those plans increase. But again, it's important to note that the maximums here for vision or hearing are completely separate from the dental maximum that's listed above. Vision services can be obtained from any appropriately licensed vision provider. However, using a provider in the Cigna Vision Network will likely provide the most cost-effective experience for the consumer or our customer, our mutual customer at the end of the day. And then hearing services are provided by Hearing Care Solutions, and information on how to access Hearing Care Solutions and their providers is provided on the person's ID card when they get it. And again, down at the bottom, you can see an average national monthly premium, $32, $50, and $62. Which represents the increased value in the plan benefits as you go across from left to right. Again, a little bit more additional information on the dental vision or dental vision hearing combined plans. For dental, there's no waiting periods for Class 1 or Class 2 restorative services. Our network that's used for the DVH plans on the dental side is our Advantage network, and that includes 80,000 plus providers and specialists nationwide. On the vision side of things, no deductible and no waiting period. So the benefits that we displayed earlier for the vision benefits are available day one, and they refresh every calendar year. So each January 1st, regardless of somebody's effective date, the vision benefits and hearing as well refresh to the benefit levels that were displayed on the previous slide. The Vision Network has 38,000 plus providers across the country. There's a separate material allowance that's included at either $100 or $300, depending on the plan selected. And one other thing that we want to note, so effective 1/1/24, Cigna Vision is going to be powered by the IMED network. The vision benefit levels that were displayed previously are not going to be affected by that, but it's important to note that there will be a switch, and it's sort of like on a white label basis, where it's really called the Cigna Vision Network as far as the provider is concerned, and as far as our provider lookup is concerned. But really, at the end of the day, in the background, it's right now it's powered by VSP. As of 1/1/24, will be powered by IMED, which are both extremely strong vision networks on a national basis. On the hearing side of things, no deductible, no waiting period again. So again, first day benefits for the hearing coverage that's provided here. Both of the plans that have the hearing benefit include a $50 hearing exam benefit. The Hearing Care Solutions has over 5,000 hearing centers nationwide, and customers have coverage for hearing exams and the $500 or $700 of an allowance per year towards hearing aids or devices, depending on the plan that they select. And finally, this is probably the most important part of the discussion here today, is that our high annual maximum plans, and this is the newest plan set that has been added to our IFP individual dental product portfolio, will be available in Ohio for 1/1/24 and after effective dates. We introduced this product mix in about 30 states at 1/1/23, and then we've added states throughout 2023 as the product got approved in the various states. But as of 1/1/24, it will be in 45 states plus DC, with additional anticipated state availability coming in 2024 as well. So some things to note on this product set. And you'll see that the highlighting there going on for the second row there, waive for preventive for Class 1. So this product set is designed a little bit differently. We did not waive deductible for Class 1 diagnostic and preventive services for these plans. And we've taken this approach. We think it's going to improve persistency. It allows us, from a product design perspective, to offer higher coinsurance values and higher annual maximums at really, really competitive rates, as you'll see as we go through this slide. So we think that's going to improve persistency and reduce customers who, a lot of times in the individual dental world, people will buy a product, use it, and then drop it. And that's not good for the carrier or for distribution entities, because as that person drops coverage after a short period of time, the revenue that's generated as a result of having that coverage in force disappears for the distributor as well. So we believe that this approach is going to help us improve persistency and reduce that buy use drop phenomenon that can happen in the marketplace today. So that deductible is one thing to point out. And the second thing to point out is, for this plan set, we have moved coverage for 3 things that would typically be in a Class 3 major category up to Class 2. And those 3 things are endodontics, which is root canal therapy, periodontics, which is treatment of issues with your gums, basically, and then complex oral surgical procedures have been moved from Class 3 up to Class 2, meaning that they get oftentimes a better coinsurance value, and a shorter waiting period. So if you look at the Cigna Dental 5,200 plan, which right now, since 1/1/23, has been the most popular plan out of this particular plan set, there is 100% coverage for preventive, 80% coverage for class 2 basic, and 60% coverage for class 3 major, on an average, on a national basis, a $31 rate. And so, as you can see, the benefits are improved with not only the higher annual maximums, but by virtue of moving coverage for endodontics, periodontics, and oral surgery, complex oral surgery, from class 3 up to class 2 basic, with a shorter waiting period in that circumstance of a 6-month wait. Obviously, we've learned over time, and we've heard from the marketplace, that the higher annual maximums are very important. As dental costs have increased over time, the old standard of $1,000 calendar year maximum benefit just doesn't go very far these days. Although we still sell a lot of that 1,500 plan that we showed originally, but the 3,000, 5,000 maxes that are showing here are very contemporary and very generous if you consider the rate level that's displayed below. If you look at the green plan, the 3,150 plan, 100% coverage for class 1, 100% or 75% for class 2, and 75% for class 3 major restorative services. So that also is a very, very rich plan for, on average, a $36 per month single premium. A couple of things here to point out for all of our plans. So our plans operate on a calendar year basis, regardless of a person's initial effective date. So that means every January 1st, any calendar year deductible values are reestablished or refreshed, whatever term you'd like to use for that, and as well as the calendar year maximum is refreshed. So even if somebody is effective, for example, on July 1st of a year, for that first 6 months, July 1st to December 31st, they will have a deductible to satisfy, and they will have an annual or calendar year maximum benefit available to them. Those refresh on January 1st of that next year. The renewal date or the policy anniversary date for that person still stays, in that example, each July 1st going forward. However, the accumulators within the plan operate on a calendar year basis. And I hope that makes sense. If there's more questions on that, I can go through that again as we get towards the latter part of this discussion. So here's a map of our dental plan availability. Those that are in royal blue are where all 9 plans are available. And as you can see, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and surrounding states, generally Pennsylvania, all 9 plans are available. We will actually have availability of the high annual maximum plans in New York for sure at some point in early to mid 2024, if that's of any interest. But you can see we have very, very wide coverage. We have product in all 50 states, and the majority of our plans are right now 45 states plus DC. And you can see down here, there's a note that the high annual maximum plans just became available for 1/1/24 effective dates in Montana, Missouri, Ohio, and Virginia. So that's really very exciting news to us. We're very, very excited about how those products are going to do in those states, specifically Ohio and Missouri and Virginia. The higher population states. We think that it's going to be really, really, really exciting and attractive as we go forward through 2024 and after. So dental provider networks. Cigna, we actually use 2 different provider networks within our individual product set that we've discussed here. On the left, in the blue, the Cigna Advantage Dental Network is available with our preventive and low deductible dental plans. That was the original 3 plans that we looked at. And under bundled dental vision and dental vision hearing plans that we discussed, this is the network that has 80,000 plus providers and specialists within it nationwide. And I should point out that when we count providers within the Cigna networks, we count one provider one time, regardless of the number of locations that they might practice in. And which is sort of an important distinction. There are times when other products will count. If a provider practices in 5 locations, they'll count that provider 5 times. And it doesn't seem prudent to do that. It's really more of a one-to-one relationship for us, and that's why we count one provider one time, regardless of the number of locations they participate in. The second network is the Cigna Total Dental Provider Network, over in the green column on this particular page here. And this is the network that we use for the high annual maximum plans that we just discussed, with the 3,000 or 5,000 annual maximums and the higher deductibles. This plan has 132,000 plus providers nationwide. Again, counted one provider, regardless of the number of locations they practice in. And it's the same network that's used on our group commercial business. And so just I throw that out there just in case a question ever comes up. But 132,000 plus providers, making it one of the largest networks that is actually out there today in the dental arena. So it's another factor that makes those high annual maximum plans attractive, is that it's a little bit bigger network that's used for those particular plans.
Can I jump in here?
Sure.
Greg, so, some of the competitors talk about access points, and they'll say they have 600,000 access points.
Right.
So, in your summary, you said we just list them once, despite the fact that they might have 2 or 3 offices or 2 or 3 access points. So, how do you guys stack up with, the other big carriers in terms of your commercial network?
We are right there with them. Like I said, it's one of the biggest networks in the country. So you bring up good points. 600,000 access points. Let's just use that as an example.
Yeah.
So that could mean one provider is practicing at 6 locations and gets counted 6 times, right?
Exactly.
For us, that provider is one. As far as we count it, if you look at a network lookup, you'll see all the locations that they practice in.
Yeah.
But we count that in that example, that's 6 locations as one provider.
Great. Do you have an idea, and don't let me to tee up here or not, but do you have an idea of how many Ohio dentists, or do you want to provide that later?
Yeah, I'll follow up with that. I apologize. I should have run that, and I didn't. But I'll run those lists and send you the counts.
That's cool. Okay, I know that question will come up, but we want to provide that with our agents. Thank you.
Yep. So features of both networks: no referrals to see a specialist. We have some interesting tools that I'll show an example of in a bit, called Brighter Score, where there's different measurements of a provider that are available in our provider lookup functionality, and on mycigna.com or the MyCigna app. So one of the things that is really important is the third item down here, that members should confirm that their provider is in network. Our products, all 9 of the products there on the dental side of things, for out-of-network reimbursement, we pay on a MAC basis, or maximum allowable charge. In essence, it means that we use a PPO fee schedule, and the values on that PPO fee schedule from an allowed amount perspective for a given procedure are used whether somebody goes in network or out of network. So our mutual customer, is going to have a much better experience in the long run if they go to a network provider, because those network providers have agreed to what the PPO fee schedule values are, and they've agreed to not charge more than that. Where if somebody goes out of network, we don't have any control over what that provider charges. And let's say the PPO fee schedule value for an exam is $40. If they go in network, that $40 is what we're going to consider as the allowed amount. And if it's, a network provider, we pay an exam at 100%, we're going to pay $40. If somebody goes out of network, we're still going to say that exam is worth $40. That provider might charge $80, and the customer then is responsible for that $40 difference. So use of a network provider is really important. All right, so our enrollment tool, we'll buzz through this pretty quick. It's called Express App. And if you've done any dental activity with us to this point, you would have used Express App. It's a completely paperless enrollment tool. And you know, it will show you exactly the plans that are available in the zip code that you've input. And now for 21, 24 and after in Ohio, you'll see all 9 plans as you start the process. It includes dynamic capabilities that help you walk through your applications pretty easily. There's resources for additional support that are easily accessible within Express App. There's a navigation pane that tracks your progress through an application, so you know kind of where you're at from start to finish and how much longer you might have to go. There's a couple of important changes to Express App if you've used it in the past that we thought we'd point out here, and they're highlighted down below important. So duplicate coverage will stop an application from proceeding. So within Express App, we ask questions about current coverage that somebody might have or prior coverage that they might have had. So if a person indicates that yes, they have current dental coverage and do not intend to replace it, the system will not permit that application to continue through the process. We avoid situations where somebody has duplicate coverage, and this is our mechanism to do that. Then the second thing is all required fields of the application need to be completed as you go through the process, and there's asterisks on next to each of the required fields. You know, we in the policy or product development process, we filed an application with the various states that say we're going to collect these different data elements, and we've just enhanced Express App to make sure that we're capturing all of those necessary fields, and that if there's for some reason there's some at some later point we need to produce information for an audit, that yep, here's our application and it has all of the necessary components filled in. So this is a new screen that we've recently added to Express App, and we did it because as we've added to the product portfolio, it became clear that we needed to provide a quick view of the product set that's available in a given area. And so this is the solution for that. Is there's a plan comparison grid where somebody, you as a broker agent or your customer, can go in here and quickly see here's the different product sets that are available. Here's the network that's tied to those products. Here's a quick look at the benefits that are available on that product. And also quickly and easily, these are the things that are underlined in blue there in the PPO network column are links where you can click on those and actually do a quick provider lookup right from this link from this one of the initial pages in Express App. So it makes the user experience a little cleaner and easier from the prospect of making sure that your provider's in a network, or if you don't have a provider, that there's providers in your particular region that you'd be interested in utilizing. Oh, there's my highlight. So we also do things, everything we can to provide the resources that's needed to easily offer our dental products. For example, we have within Cigna for brokers, we have a resource center that will help you navigate through Express App and provide different sorts of trainings on the products themselves. And to access that, you can see number 1 down there. When you get into Express App, you go down to view documents and forms. And then you would go to up here at the top, number 2, instructional materials. And then the instructional materials then are shown down below, where you can go through all sorts of on-demand trainings. You can do, actual sort of video trainings, or you can look at PDF documents if you would prefer that. You can download them, print them off, whatever suits your particular needs. And we add to this periodically. So as you get going on the Cigna side of things with our dental products, we encourage you to check back periodically to look and see if there's new stuff that's out there. We have a book of business report function available in Cigna for brokers, so that after you've submitted an application for your client, in your book of business report, you would see a policy status of active, as you can see, they're circled in green, usually within 24 hours or so of a policy submission. This report also shows you your historical book of business. So if you've sold 50 apps, dental, medical, whatever the mix might be, all of that information is shown here, and you can sort it different ways. Check the status, as far as, gee, what was their effective date? Are they still active? All that sort of things available, really sort of at your fingertips in the Cigna for Brokers functionality. And then we also have a way that you can create a self-enrollment link. So if you have clients that prefer to quote and apply on their own without your assistance, you can create a self-enrollment link button that you can add to your website. You can put it into your email, signature line, all those sorts of things to make it easy so that you can easily communicate with the prospect customer that, hey, all you need to do is click on the link below, and it's specifically linked to your producer number, so that that's the fail-safe method whereby any credit for a given sale based on use of that link is given to the appropriate production source. A couple of key takeaways that we'll go through real quick. So we've talked about the dental portfolio. We've got the full suite, 9 plans in most states, including the low deductible and preventive plan in the blue there. And remember that Cigna Dental 1500 plan is the plan that includes an ortho benefit. And then the high annual maximum plans in green in the middle, those are the newest ones, just being made available in Ohio. Higher annual maximums, slightly higher deductible amounts, and remember that deductible applies to preventive. It includes our larger network, the 132,000 plus providers. And then the third set is the bundled plans, the dental vision or dental vision hearing bundled plans that, again, the pre-senior and senior folks have really taken to those products in the marketplace. Some other Cigna differentiators, the mycigna.com and the myCigna app. The customers can go easily in and find, do a provider lookup. They can go in and look at costs for potential procedures. They can look at claim activity, claims that have been processed. If they needed to, they could pay their premium online via mycigna.com, and then they can access their digital ID card. Cigna Healthy Rewards is all of our dental plan members get this discount program that includes discounts to things like fitness clubs, wearable fitness devices is one of the items that are possible, some home delivery service for meals, and a few other things that are available in that. And then the Brighter Score, I mentioned that earlier, and transparent pricing. So you can see on the right-hand side here a look at how Brighter Score looks on a mobile phone. And it's an area where somebody that's a covered Cigna IFP Dental member can go in and look at many details on providers in their area to determine if, to make sure that they can find the right fit. There's reviews that are posted there. You can see notice that 49 reviews on the top one, 45 on the second. So customers have the ability to go in and put in a provider review if they so choose. And there's ratings. The Brighter Score rating is a combination of responses on reviews, how are their costs, all those sorts of things. So we do go a couple of steps deeper with regard to provider information than many of the competitors that are out there in the market today. And then adding dental to the portfolio. So we encourage folks to consider adding dental to the portfolio and working to become their customers' go-to source for any of their health insurance related needs, whatever they might be. And in that process, taking the consultative sales approach to determine and affirm the coverage needs of your client and ask the right questions. And don't be afraid to ask the questions. Somebody might not be interested, and that's totally fine. However, keep in mind that dental is a highly sought after benefit oftentimes. And many folks are accustomed to having had dental coverage, maybe through a previous employer relationship. And so they've got an inherent value established in themselves already that, hey, this dental coverage is important to me. And it's important to help to continue to maintain my oral health. So we think adding dental to the mix is important, and will be a good fit for you if you do. A couple of policy administration things. So plan coverage is available to all ages, even child-only coverage, so that in the event that there's like a divorce decree or something that is requiring, for example, one guardian to provide coverage for a dependent, and maybe that guardian has their own coverage elsewhere, there is within Express app you can purchase child-only coverage if that need comes up. All of our Cigna policies include a 10-day free look period, where after that 10 days, within that 10 days, if the applicant decides that for whatever reason they don't want that product, they can contact us and we'll refund premium less any claim expenses that they may have incurred during that period. A new application is required for plan changes and for address changes if moving to a new state. Our application submission deadline, so we use first of the month effective dates, and an application can be submitted up until the day prior to the next first of a month to get that next first of a month effective date. And you can see the example there, 10/31 could have an 11/1 effective date. Termination and re-enrollment. This is an important topic here. So if a member terminates coverage in a Cigna individual dental plan, that member cannot re-enroll in a Cigna individual dental plan for a period of at least 12 months from the date of prior coverage termination. So this is another protection on the back end that's established to try to discourage that buy, use, drop phenomenon that I talked about earlier. That's not good for any of us. You know, we really believe that having dental coverage and keeping your dental coverage is to the consumer or the customer's benefit, right? And if it encourages them to go to visit their provider and to stay on top of potential dental conditions that can arise, that's good for everybody, right? And again, the idea that there's other conditions that a dentist can not necessarily diagnose, but they can suspect something perhaps, and then direct that customer or client or patient to perhaps access other care with a medical provider to take care of whatever that situation might be. Waiting period waivers. So this is a really important topic, and let me see if I can describe this in a way that is clear. So your client might be eligible to get waiting period waiver for Class 2 and Class 3 services. Class 2 is basic, Class 3 is major services, if they've had at least 12 months of comprehensive continuous coverage with no more than a 63-day break in coverage between plans. Plans that are preventive only, including the Cigna preventive only plan, do not qualify for waiting period waiver. So again, let me say that again. The waiver is available as long as somebody comes from a comprehensive plan that includes coverage for major services, and there's not more than a 63-day break between that prior coverage and the Cigna effective date.
So let me jump in here, Greg. That would include any individual plan that they might currently have. So in terms of the individual market, let's say they get something from the healthcare.gov, like a DentaQuest plan or something like that. Maybe not real robust or something like that off of the marketplace. And they've had that for 12 months. Would that be considered credible coverage?
As long as it provided coverage for major services, Class 3 major services.
Got it.
If it doesn't, if it only covers preventive or preventive in maybe a few basic procedures, it would not qualify. We're trying to avoid the obvious of somebody that for whatever reason didn't get a root canal done before they came onto our plan because their prior plan didn't cover it, even though they should have been done previously.
Right.
Right. That liability really existed before they came onto the Cigna product.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, a couple more things on eligibility. So we require a new application for any plan upgrade or downgrade for any customer who moves from one state to another. And it's up to the customer to let us know that, in fact, that state change occurs. And then any dependent who now is enrolling in their own plan for maybe they've aged out of, the age 26 limit they've hit or something like that, they can enroll and purchase their own coverage. And as long as they do it within 60 days of the status change. And in those scenarios, for a dependent that's going from maybe as a dependent under a primary insured over to their own plan, as long as they do it and within that 60-day period, that will waive any waiting periods that they would have met under the prior plan. Effective date, we don't retroactive effective dates. And the premium under the new plan is likely going to be different because there may be a different zip code, or the age of the enrollee might be different than it was before. And so any of those sorts of things can impact what the ultimate rate is for that person. And then there's going to be a new payment that's going to be required to be set up, which is all part of the application process that is done on Express app. So in any of those scenarios, plan upgrade, move to another state, dependent, moving from a dependent status into their own primary insured status, that is all done using Express app via Cigna for Brokers. And you go through the application process just like you would for somebody that's not on a Cigna plan. And then really we rely on that customer then to contact us and say, hey, I want to terminate the old plan as of this date, and the new plan is effective on the next day, right? So it's the same electronic process, I guess, is the point of this slide. Resources. So we offer support to you guys and to the customers post-sale to ensure that you're getting quick and timely help when you need it. We've mentioned, we have a dental learning center. And so this slide here is meant to highlight some of the things that are available in that dental learning center. You'll see several useful tabs highlighted at the top of the page that categorize resources specifically for broker use, and then those that can be shared with clients, or a page that allows you to find contact information for your broker manager. The For Brokers tab gives you access to useful resources such as plan comparison grids and training materials. Under Share with Your Clients, you'll find marketing resources and materials to help your sale process and to keep you and your clients informed. And then you can see down here, there's again, the URL is the Cigna IFP Broker Dental Resource Center, where these materials are stored. Dental ID cards. So there's a change occurring here, and so that's why we put the slide in here. Currently, within 7 to 10 business days, customers will receive an ID card in the mail. However, as of 10/1, we're actually changing that process, and we're going to discontinue paper ID cards, physical ID cards in 41 states. And down at below there in the footer, you can see there's the 9 states where that change is not occurring on 10/1, but we expect it to change in 2024 at some point in time. So the customer accesses then their digital ID card. They can do it from their smartphone or from the My Cigna on the Cigna website. They can go in and print out ID cards if they so choose, but this is not a new phenomenon in the dental world. Many of our competitors have moved to the digital ID card already, and so we're really just sort of following that wave. And ultimately, it becomes more convenient for the customer to be able to take out their smartphone and show their provider their ID card. So that is a change that's coming. And as you sell, for example, in Ohio, if you sell the high annual max plan for a 1/1/24 effective date, those folks will access a digital ID card instead of being mailed a paper ID card. Here's a look at the broker management team. You can see several people there. I'm down on the left. I am sort of the dental person. So as dental things come up, you can feel free to contact me or contact broker support. You can see the number down there with questions, issues, or whatever that you might have as you actually get out into the market with our dental products. These other folks focus on medical, ACA medical products in the markets that are listed next to their names. And so you may run into them in that regard out in the market. Was there a question, Jeff?
Oh, we're familiar with Dennis Pujols. We know Dennis.
Oh yeah, former
Oh.
pitcher.
No, he was a pitcher too, but he worked at, I think, at Molina.
Yep, he did.
But,
Yep.
No, certainly he's a friend of the agency. So Dennis,
Good.
hello. And I take it in terms of the onboarding process, and we're gonna do the best we can here. But if we have a question, just in that process, give that 877 Cigna 15 number a call, and they can walk us through any kind of a broker onboarding, namely enrollment platform stuff and all that kind of thing.
Yep, they can. And if for some reason there's some issue with that, you guys can feel free to come to me.
Fantastic.
And I'll help you out.
That's great.
Let's go here. Oop, I forgot about the highlight in there. So contacts. We do provide claim and benefits customer service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So holidays, whatever it might be, there is constant customer service available for members or for brokers and agents if they want to call in if they have some issue with one of their clients on a claim or some other issue. They can contact that as well. We have a broker support that we just highlighted on the prior screen, but it's the hours for that are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. And you can go to that for any sort of broker issue that you might have or information that you might need. The broker portal again, cignaforbrokers.com. Should be pretty easy to remember. That's a starting point for getting to our dental resource center, getting to Express app to take an application, all those sorts of things. And then there's some other links over here that could at some point come in handy to somebody that might be looking for something. And now, finally, on that note, I'm sorry I talked kind of long there, but we can open it up to any questions that might have come up along the way.
Yeah, take a moment, jot your question down. Yeah, I think we answered a lot of the questions throughout the process. So so glad you could give us all the detail and very informative presentation, Greg. And I know you'll help us kind of answer some of those questions, in particular the the network in Ohio.
Yep.
Real quick, how can somebody look up a doctor, a dentist?
Yep. In Cigna for Brokers, there's a way to do that. And I can send you, Jeff, when I send you the counts for Ohio, I can send you the path as to how somebody would go in and look up a provider in a pre-sale sort of circumstance.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Yep.
Okay, another question. If a member does not use a smartphone, okay, can they get a paper app?
Yeah. So that's a good question. They can contact us at that customer service number, the 20 that I showed. That's 24/7, 365, and we will mail out paper ID cards when requested.
Okay. Thanks, Deb. I really appreciate you coming on board today. And I know, our agents are really grateful for all your insights and information. And, if you have any questions about Cigna, please give me, Eric, a call and we can get you set up on Cigna. I think with that, Greg, do you have any final comments?
I would just say thank you for your time. It's really appreciated, again, as we gear up for busy season. And I would encourage you to take a look at our product set, and we are competitively priced and have products with strong benefit levels within them, and we got a great name standing behind us, Cigna. It's a trustworthy brand, and we're here to help. If something occurs along the way where you need assistance, you can count on us for getting to the bottom of whatever that issue might be and taking care of you and the customer.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Greg. And
You bet.
with that,
Thank you, Jeff.
everybody, have a great day. Thanks so much.
Thank you.